safeguard the world from badness. However, this assessment cannot be carried out using some self-concocted or self-formed measure or level. This assessment must be carried out or performed using that level or that measure that has been put before us by the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. And I will mention what this level and measure is. As long as we carry out this self-assessment and we strive to cause pious reformation within ourselves, until then we will remain firmly established on the path of progress, insha'Allah, God willing. The decline of nations always commences at that point, when they form their self-concocted levels of measure, and when they forget the fundamental objectives. The Holy Quran, mentioning the previous prophets, has drawn our attention towards this fact, that the previous nations, when they forgot the teachings that were brought or given to them, when they started deviating from their objectives, then at that point they were either totally destroyed, or so much corruption started forming amongst them that instead of the real teaching that was given to them, innovations and vulgar things became the norm amongst these people. And this is a spiritual and moral form of destruction. Bad things started to appear good to these people. Modesty and purity were things of the past for such people. Self-formed interpretations and explanations of faith started appearing as well. They totally transformed the teaching of the Prophet that came for them, and on the name of the teachings of the Prophet that came to them, they started preaching teachings which were wrong, and they started spreading things that they attributed to the Prophet incorrectly. The result of all of this was this, that they neither had any honor or respect for Almighty Allah, and neither did they have any sanctity for the Prophets. And from a spiritual perspective, these people were completely dead. And you can observe this is the same state of the people who live in the West today. Apart from this, all those people who attribute them to religions that came before Islam, this is their condition similarly. It is a favor upon Muslims from Almighty Allah that according to His promises, He has safeguarded this final law-bearing book. And despite the fact that with respect to the majority of the Muslims, somebody has said in the following words and has painted this picture, this is before the advent of the promised Messiah ﷺ, that neither has a faith remained nor Islam. However, in every age, a group of Muslims was born that actually strive to implement the teachings of the Holy Quran. And these people safeguarded continuously the teachings of the Holy Quran. And then in the latter days, according to the promises of Almighty Allah, Allah sent the promised Messiah. Allah sent the Imam Mahdi. And today all of us Ahmadis, we claim that we believe in this very promised Messiah. We claim that we will support that person who brought back the faith from the Pleiades to the earth. We attribute ourselves to that Imam who the faith of Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, was to spread it in its pristine condition to the corners of the earth, and he pledged that he would establish it in this manner. And the Jamaat of that Imam is going to fulfill this, inshallah, God willing. How fortunate are we that in the corners of the earth, Almighty Allah, through the Messiah of Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, has taken the responsibility of spreading that message of Islam upon himself. And he has said to us that become a part of this divine decree. Almighty Allah says that मैं तेरी तबलीग को ज़मीन के किनारों तक पहुंचाऊंगा, that I shall cause thy message to reach the corners of the earth. And further, Allah says, partaking of this, attain blessings. How can you become a part of this divine decree? You can do this by inculcating a revolution within yourselves that causes you to attain the pleasure of Almighty Allah. You can do this by purifying and reforming yourselves for Allah. You can do this by removing every kind of vice and evil from within you. And you can do this by ensuring that you practice what you preach, that your words match your deeds. Now in this verse that has drawn attention towards an issue, these are such things that if they are found within us, and if we are those who inculcate these and then perform tabligh, propagation of the faith, then these are things that will attract every good-natured person towards you. It is not necessary that when you perform tabligh, you only perform such tabligh that relates to religious or doctrinal issues.